Good morning and welcome to the Dallas Download, your quick look at what's trending, what's happening, and what everyone's talking around DFW. I'm Kayla, and we've got a lot to get into today, so let's jump right in.
And when we think about meals on the go, we need something that everybody can agree on, and that is Wendy's. It is the family favorite. My boys love the crispy chicken sandwich, and it now has a bold new flavor. They have upgraded it.
This initiative is really meant to raise awareness, start the dialogue, give it a voice, support women, and offer employers a toolkit.
All that and more right here on the Dallas Download. Skincare can get really confusing really fast, especially when there's a new trend every 5 minutes online. Now, more people are focusing on customized skincare and long-term results instead of constantly trying random products. Ariel Clay is the Chief Operating Officer at Woodhouse Spa, and she joins us now. Thanks for being here, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So what does Skinvestment actually mean, and why are so many people moving towards more personalized skincare routines?
So Skinvestment really reflects this shift from having a quick fix mentality around skincare to really investing in longer-term, preventative, results-driven treatment plans. And it's gaining popularity because there's more research and awareness on the fact that as we age, our collagen depletes. And it begins in our late 20s and continues on through our 30s and 40s. And if we can make some of these investments, whether early on or even in the middle of that aging process, we can really slow it down and sort of slow down our skin aging.
And how are professional treatments different from just using products at home or doing one-off treatments every now and then?
So professional treatments are customized and personalized. So when you go into a Woodhouse for your first treatment, we start always with a consultation and a skin analysis, and that leads to that professional recommendation. And because you have a professional in there who's looking at your skin in that moment, it really removes the guesswork. And so that leads to accelerated results and truly can be more cost-effective over time than buying a bunch of different products and trying a bunch of different treatments that don't necessarily work for you when you need them.
And what are some easy ways people can start building a skincare plan that actually works long-term?
Yeah, so people should not always assume that more is better. There are plenty of combination treatments and products out there that really can deliver beautiful results, and it's often easier to keep up with. You don't need a 10-step routine for the morning and the night to really get the results that you're looking for. And the last thing is really just you have to be consistent. So again, it's not a quick fix. You're in it for the long haul, and consistency is really key here.
And how is Woodhouse helping make long-term skincare feel easier and more approachable for people?
One of the things we're doing at Woodhouse is we're offering a membership program now that just makes it a little bit easier for people to commit to regular skincare routines. The other thing we're doing is we're starting to introduce more medical aesthetic treatments. So guests can come to Woodhouse now and really have the whole holistic approach. So they can have their Botox and fillers for those instant results, while at the same time really addressing more of their underlying skin concerns and overall skin health in the aging process. So really giving them that full range of treatment plans that can help them achieve all of their goals.
I know I'm taking notes on all this, but for the viewers out there, where can we go for more information?
They can learn more at our website at woodhousespas.com.
Ariel Clay, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
A new survey is shedding light on how menopause symptoms are affecting women at work, from productivity to career growth. Now, a new initiative called the Menopause Time Off Movement is encouraging more support and more open conversations in the workplace. Joining us now is Brooke Burke, who's partnered with Hone Health to help bring more awareness to the issue. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, and what an important conversation to have.
So, my friend, tell us about the survey and some of the results that really stood out to you.
Well, MTO is Menopause Time Off, and this is more than a campaign. It's really an initiative. Actually, it's an actionable ecosystem that is going to help employers and employees deal with menopausal symptoms. I'm really excited about this campaign. Hone Health is a telehealth clinic and longevity platform. They offer menopause care. We did a study, 1,000 women ages 30 to 60. It was astonishing what we learned. 90% of women said they were impacted by menopause symptoms. 62% that those symptoms affected their earnings. And what's crazy is 1 out of 5 either had to leave the workforce or retire. So that's disturbing. And I think that so many women have been suffering silently. They haven't had a dialogue as it relates to menopause symptoms. There's some shame related to it. It's happening to so many of them. And women in their highest peak performance years are going through menopause. So this initiative is really meant to raise awareness, start the dialogue, give it a voice, support women, and offer employers a toolkit that they can put into their HR policies so that they can offer more considerate and flexible accommodations for women that are going through this. And it's happening all around us, just nobody's talking about it.
And give me a little more insight. What exactly is menopause time off movement, and how can people get involved?
So it's meant to supply a toolkit, right? An educational opportunity, put a system in place so that employers can better support women that are going through menopause and knowing that the symptoms are really affecting their ability to show up at the highest capacity. So the best thing to do really is go to the MTO Menopause Time Off Hub, which you'll find at honehealth.com/menopause time off. There you can take a look at the comprehensive toolkit. You can learn more about everything that Hone Health is doing. There's also a declaration there that we're hoping everyone will sign and get behind. And they're offering a $1,000 micro grant that you can apply for there. So all the information is on the site. And what's most important is that we start talking about this, that we remove some of the shame, that we really accept the reality that menopause is happening to so many people, and that we start to offer a sort of a stigma-free dialogue that I think is going to create a comfort zone that's going to help create a safety net. And also we're hoping to educate not just the employers, but the employees by providing this comprehensive toolkit.
And what kind of impact can menopause have for women trying to manage work and everyday life?
So many. I mean, the symptoms are different for everyone. Personally, I've been through it. It's extremely challenging. It affects everything in your life, from your confidence, your energy, your ability to show up, your brain fog, night sweats, your sleep is disruptive. The list is long and it's individual. The problem is that if you're suffering silently and you don't have the confidence to really open up this dialogue, to learn more about your body and the best way to manage this and comfort in the workplace, you are suffering alone. And so what we're hoping to do through the MTO initiative and everything that Hone Health is offering is to help women better manage their symptoms and create a safety net in the workforce so that we can all continue to show up over and over again with strength and confidence to do all of the things that we are so capable of doing as women.
And Brooke, why is this movement so important to you personally?
Well, I've been through it, so I'm on the other side of it right now. But when Hone Health came to me to partner, it was an absolute yes for me. I'm an advocate for women's health. I'm passionate about raising awareness. I think that there's so much that we can do. I think that healthcare is available. I think treatments to manage menopause symptoms are available. The system's a little bit broken. I think we need to do better, and the time is now. And it's just a matter of raising awareness and educating both the employer, the system, and giving the employees a toolkit so that they can just show up in a higher space.
And one more time, where can we go for more information?
So the MTO Hub is available, and you can learn about everything that they're doing there. It's at honehealth.com/menopause time off. Sign the declaration, please. I did. And also you can apply there for the $1,000 micro grant.
Brooke Burke, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Gout affects millions of Americans, but doctors say many people may not realize when their symptoms are no longer under control. Frequent flares and ongoing pain can make daily life much harder than people expect. Joining us now are Dr. Suneet Grewal, a rheumatologist with East Bay Rheumatology Medical Group, and patient advocate Glenn T, who's sharing his personal experience with uncontrolled gout. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So, Dr. Grewal, what is the difference between gout and uncontrolled gout?
Yeah, so gout is a serious and painful type of arthritis that occurs when uric acid builds up in the bloodstream. So one of the hallmark signs of gout is when the body reacts to that buildup of uric acid, often presenting as joint pain, swelling, redness, whereas uncontrolled gout is when a patient then starts to have frequent flares, so frequent signs and symptoms, and also they have an elevated uric acid in their bloodstream. Sometimes these patients also develop gouty nodules, which we call tophi.
And what are some key warning signs that gout may not be under control?
So the signs and symptoms that gout is not under control is when what I just described is occurring frequently. So if a patient has an elevated uric acid, so the American College of Rheumatology recommends that your blood uric acid be below 6 milligrams per deciliter. But if it's beyond that, and the patient is having 2 or more flares per year or has developed those nodules, then the gout is considered uncontrolled at that point.
And what should people do if symptoms continue even while they're taking medication?
So this is the point at which they really do need to talk to their physician, or if they have a gout specialist like a rheumatologist, to speak with them. One of the things I think that holds patients back from having those important conversations is there's a lot of shame and stigma around gout and misunderstanding about how gout develops. And so patients tend to think that this is related to diet or lifestyle, what they did or didn't do, when in fact, there's a component of genetics or how effectively the kidney is filtering out the uric acid. So it's important to understand that and then recognize and discuss this with one's physician.
And Glenn, how did uncontrolled gout affect your daily life?
Well, I started experiencing gout symptoms in the early 1990s, and it progressed to where the flares were more often. They occurred in different parts of my body. I had the tophi develop first on my right foot, and then further up my both Achilles heels and different parts of my body, including my ear. And the way it affected me was that it was profound. I was missing out on family activities. When we went to the beach, different places, I was very conscious of, particularly my feet. I would bury my feet in the sand or wear socks and shoes a lot, and it was very, like I said, self-conscious. And it affected it not just personally and at home, but also at work. There were times where I could not walk. There were times when we were on vacation and I was either confined to the sofa or the bed, and the pain was horrendous at times, unpredictable. Had to plan for possibly getting gout attacks when I traveled. So it was, like I said, profound the way it affected me.
And what advice would you give someone dealing with frequent flares?
The first bit of advice is to learn about the disease. There's so much that it is not only being researched, but is not known by the average public. And it's learning about it is important so that we can talk to our physicians. And that is key. Call your physician and explain what your signs and symptoms are and go from there and take his advice or her advice.
And where can viewers go for more information?
Yeah, so a reliable resource that we can share is goutquestions.com. Not only can patients learn about what gout is and what it looks like, but also provides a guide for meaningful questions to have that meaningful conversation with their physician.
Dr. Grewal and Glenn, thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
Big moments in history usually come with images we never forget. As the country gets ready for America's 250th anniversary, Getty Images is launching Picture This Nation, a collection of visuals celebrating the people, places, and moments that help shape the country. Here's a closer look.
This summer, America marks a milestone. Jean Foca, Chief Marketing and Revenue Officer at Getty Images, says this occasion calls for stories that are thoughtful and impactful.
America's 250th anniversary is a moment to invite all storytellers to reflect on the history we share and the visuals that play a powerful role in that, both historical and contemporary.
Getty Images has launched Picture This Nation, a dedicated storytelling resource hub powered by one of the world's deepest visual archives and decades of trusted editorial and creative visuals to help craft narratives about America's past, present, and future. Storytellers can access expert curations and data-backed reports offering guidance on representation, cultural nuance, and audience expectations. Insights into American visual sentiment informed by proprietary consumer research, and custom creative production capabilities.
What makes this unique is the breadth and credibility of the visual content from our creative and editorial libraries, as well as vast historical archives. We're providing trusted visuals and expert guidance to help brands and organizations meet this milestone.
And at a time when misinformation and synthetic content are on the rise, experts say trusted visuals matter more than ever.
There's a growing need for verified, rights-cleared imagery. When you're telling stories celebrating something as important as this milestone, accuracy and trust are critical.
As America turns 250, words can tell a story, but dynamic visual content brings that story to life.
This isn't just about honoring the past, but empowering brands with the visual authority to tell stories that resonate now and into the future. Picture This Nation gives storytellers the opportunity to share their American story in their own way, while celebrating all that our nation is about.
For more information, visit america.gettyimages.com.
Memorial Day weekend is almost here, and for many people that means cookouts, summer recipes, and getting back outside. Lifestyle expert Meghan B says a few simple upgrades can make a long weekend feel a lot more fun and a little less stressful. She joins us now with some ideas for food, self-care, and easy summer living. Thank you for being here.
Yay, I have teamed up with some fun brands to get the summer party started.
So a lot of people consider Memorial Day the official start of summer. What's showing up on menus this year?
So for me, it's the kickoff to chaos. My 3 kids and I will be in the car a lot. Soccer tournaments, lacrosse tournaments, you name it. And when we think about meals on the go, we need something that everybody can agree on. And that is Wendy's. It is the family favorite. My boys love the crispy chicken sandwich. And it now has a bold new flavor. They have upgraded it. The marinade is got a really juicy bite now. There's a crispy panko-style breading infused with 9 different spices. It's a heat that really hits. You've got that soft potato bread bun, the rich home-style mayo, pickles for balance. It's a satisfying sandwich and a really good example of how Wendy's is doubling down on what matters to them, and that's creating a premium crispy chicken sandwich.
My mouth is watering. I know where I'm going after this interview. And so many people are getting recipe inspiration online now. Do you have any easy ideas for something flavorful and seasonal?
So it is also Mediterranean Diet Month, the whole month of May, Mediterranean Diet Month. So an excuse to really look at some whole foods and to experiment with some different recipes. And Genova tuna is fabulous. Look at this meal we created right here. It's a dill, tomato, red onion, cucumber salad, super delicious. And that Genova tuna is wild caught, inspired by flavors and traditions of the Mediterranean, pantry staple, convenient, versatile, free of additives and preservatives. And if you go to genovaseafood.com, there are tons of fabulous recipes just like this.
And heading into summer, a lot of people also want to look and feel their best. What are some easy ways to refresh those routines?
So the key to really looking and feeling our best is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And I think a good tip on this front is that for every caffeinated beverage, for every cocktail, you need at least 8 ounces of water. And if you're someone like me who doesn't love drinking water, think about this. What if you serve it in a wine glass, maybe add a little bit of mint, a squeeze of lemon, maybe even a little raspberry to make it a sipping occasion. That's a great way to get more water, stay hydrated so we can look and feel our best.
I love that idea. Fancy water.
Fancy water, yes.
And where can viewers go for more information?
You can go to meganbmurphy.com.
Meghan B. Murphy, you are a hero. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of people care about brain health, but new research still says many don't know the best ways to protect it. The Alzheimer's Association is launching a new initiative focused on simple steps people could take every day to help support brain health over time. Joining us now is Katie Evans, Chief Programs and Missions Engagement Officer with the Alzheimer's Association. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So my friend, new findings show there's a real disconnect between brain health awareness and action. What did the research reveal?
Yeah, so people clearly care about brain health. They care how they think and learn and remember as they age. In fact, 9 in 10 Americans say that brain health is very important to them, but there is a disconnect because fewer than 1 in 10 actually know what to do about it. So on one hand, there is this great concern, but on the other, there is a lack of clarity and confidence on actions people can take, which is exactly why the Alzheimer's Association is launching Rethink Your Brain. It's an initiative to help people move from concern to practical action.
And most adults say brain health matters to them, but many also say they don't know how to protect it. Why do you think that gap exists?
Yeah, well, one big reason is just how people understand brain health. There was a recent survey done by the Alzheimer's Association, and we found that 3/4 of adults understood that healthy lifestyle behaviors were very important for brain health, but fewer than half realized those same behaviors could reduce the risk of dementia. And when we talk about healthy habits, they don't realize that these everyday habits like physical activity, nutrition, staying mentally engaged, these are really important force multipliers over time.
And as you kind of just mentioned, how can those simple healthy habits help support memory, thinking, and long-term brain health?
Yeah, so everyday habits matter so much more than people realize. So let's go back to exercise. We're talking about 3 to 4 times a week, 30 minutes to 40 minutes a pop, and you need to get your heart rate up a little bit. Also, eating well, making better choices, fish, berries, nuts, things like that. You also want to keep your mind engaged. All of these can help you feel better now. It can protect your memory and thinking as you age, and it may reduce your risk of dementia. Something else I would note is there is a growing body of evidence, and the science is advancing rapidly around brain health. Last year, the Alzheimer's Association put out findings from a large 2-year clinical trial, and we found that healthy lifestyle habits, especially when done in combination, did protect brain health and can reduce risk of cognitive decline. Isn't that such a powerful message to know that, yes, there are things we can do to protect our brain health?
That is actually extremely neat. Absolutely. And tell us about the new Rethink Your Brain initiative and the 6-step challenge the association is launching today.
Rethink Your Brain is designed to move people from caring about brain health to taking that action. And at the heart of the initiative is a 6-step challenge where we're going to help you rethink your habits, rethink your daily routine, your movement, rethink your nutrition and your mental activity. And we're also going to help you talk about what's next in terms of motivation, monitoring your overall health, and inviting others to join you.
And Katie, where can viewers go for more information about the initiative and about the challenge?
I encourage everyone to go to rethinkyourbrain.org. You can build a personalized action plan, and the best part is you can start today.
Katie Evans, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Some moments in history still feel incredibly personal decades later. The National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis has reopened its legacy experience with updated exhibits and new insight into the life, legacy, and lasting impact of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Joining us now is Dr. Russ Wigginton, president of the National Civil Rights Museum. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me so much.
So, my friend, the museum is celebrating its 35th anniversary with this reopening. What does that milestone mean for everyone involved?
This is a great moment for us to capture civil and human rights work of the last almost 60 years since Dr. King was killed here on the balcony at the Lorraine Motel. It gives us an opportunity to incorporate multiple generations into seeing themselves in civil and human rights work and feeling relevant. Dr. King's last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community, is the foundation by which the legacy experience is based on. His grappling, asking us to grapple with issues like education and poverty and housing and nonviolence and gender, gives us this wonderful array of spaces that we're still trying to solve for. It's also really important to think about ordinary people who did and continue to do extraordinary things, which is really at the heart of civil and human rights work.
And what will visitors experience inside the newly updated legacy experience?
They will experience exhibits that have an interesting and compelling connection between technology and activation and traditional artifacts and documents. It shows up in our exhibits like the Poor People's Campaign, which happened right after Dr. King was killed. It shows up in exhibits like Black Lives Matter. It shows up in exhibits like our Social Movements Table, which is an interactive effort to understand and appreciate the principles of the historic movement, how they connect to movements of today, the work of today in various spaces to make our society better. And they also show up, it also shows up in our Being Seen, Being Heard exhibit, where art, music, and culture are lifted up in the context of civil and human rights.
And there are new discoveries connected to Dr. King's assassination. What can you share about those findings?
Since the museum's founding, we have been the holder of the state's evidence connected to the assassination. And with that comes a responsibility to thoughtfully put forward those documents in ways that help people understand the context of that era. And we have done that so much so that we feel like people will be focused on why Dr. King was killed. Certainly, a visitor can explore here at the National Civil Rights Museum and the Legacy Experience. They can explore how he how he may have been killed or who may have killed him, but we really want them to be grounded in why he was killed.
And the museum really encourages people to stay involved and engaged. How are you helping visitors connect history to what's happening today?
Yeah, we have some explicit stories about how people can stay involved and find their, be empowered to get involved and find their voice. And our final exhibit is called Hope is a Discipline, and it asks all of our visitors to answer the question, what do you hope for? And we take those answers and we will incorporate them into the exhibit so that others can be inspired by the responses that people leave, and they can, again, see how it fits for them to be involved and be, as citizens, contributors in a positive way.
And where can we go for more information?
civilrightsmuseum.org to learn more about the Legacy Experience and the sacred ground of the Lorraine Motel.
Dr. Russ Wigginton, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you for having me.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Dallas Download. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to follow along for more stories, more trends, and even more from your own city. We'll see you next time on the show we like to call the Dallas Download.
When the light angles into the leaves, you can't place the scent or the breeze. A million tiny lives lie hidden in the trees. Soft voices whispering extraordinary things. A neon shift replaces the faces that you knew. Your lizard brain is bracing for the change inside of you. Alien summer came and they woke in us. We shared arguments, can't define new fingers reaching up. From quiescent crystallized beneath the August moon, the travelers been conscious the world to consume. While the nightingales chitter and chant, they feed in the forests of man, with praying probosities, paralyzing sting. An army of witch mantis hunting everything. The sonic trigger instigates the slaughter of the earth. Frontal lobes corrupted by the hive's ancestral thirst.